Section 5. In this section, God begins by telling us not to consume each other's wealth illegally and not to kill each other or ourselves. Following that, God explains that if you avoid the major sins, God will absolve you of your lesser misdeeds and admit you into a place of honor. God then teaches us about kindness and to be kind to people, reminding us that God does not like those who are arrogant and boastful. Then we learn about the concept of the utmost importance, the unforgivable sin. So every sin you commit can be forgiven by God if you sincerely make repentance to Him. But there is one sin that if you die upon this sin without having repented for it, then this is the one sin that God will not forgive. So what is the unforgivable sin? It is to associate partners with God in worship. Following from that, we then go through some verses about polytheism. We are commanded to obey God and His messenger and those in authority amongst us, and that if we disagree on anything, then we should refer it back to God and His messenger if you truly believe in God and the last day. Then God tells us about those who fight in the cause of God, whether they achieve martyrdom or victory, God will honor them with a great reward. Later, God tells us that if the Qur'an was from anyone other than God, then there would have been many inconsistencies in it. We learn about the establishment of regular prayers and that the prayer is a duty for the believers at appointed times. We also learn that if you've committed evil or have wronged yourself, then it is certainly to your own loss. So seek forgiveness sincerely from God and He will forgive you. We are reminded that Satan is the sworn enemy of humanity, misleading and deceiving people with false hopes and delusions. God asks, who is better than the one who follows the way of Abraham, fully submitting themselves to God? And also that God chose Abraham as a close friend. We then get some passages about being mindful of God. Then we come to an important verse about justice, that we should stand firm for justice even if it's against our own selves or our parents or our relatives. And then another important verse where we learn about some of the articles of faith, where God teaches us to have faith in Him, His messengers, His scriptures, His angels, and the day of judgment, and that whoever denies any of these has gone far astray. The section then ends with some passages regarding the hypocrites, where we learn some of their characteristics and that they will be in the lowest depths of the hellfire. And that brings us to the end of section 5.